Wir sind hier, wir sind auf der Gamescom. Hinter mir läuft der Guild Wars Trailer, hinter mir befindet sich der gesamte NC-Soft-Stand mit über 40 Stationen, an denen morgen die Öffentlichkeit die Guild Wars 2 Demo zum allerersten Mal live spielen können wird. Wir hatten heute schon die Chance, die Demo anzuspielen, selbst zu spielen. Es wurde uns vorgespielt, wir haben eine Narration, wir haben über 1,5 Stunden Material nur für Guild Wars 2. Deswegen kann ich euch heute noch gar nicht sagen, was ihr eigentlich im Spotlight sehen werdet. Wir haben so viel Material, das wird über die nächsten Tage rausgehauen. Wir freuen uns, hier zu sein. Und der ein oder andere, der wird gestern Abend, als dieses unoffizielle Video über die Webstreams ging, ein flaues Gefühl im Magen gehabt haben, von wegen, das kann doch nicht sein, das ist doch nicht Guild Wars. Doch, und es sieht in Realität viel besser aus, als es gestern der Fall war. Und ich bin ein Stück weit bestärkt zu sagen, manchmal haben die Entwickler recht, wenn sie sagen, wir wollen nicht, dass abgefilmt wird, weil es wurde der Grafik tatsächlich nicht gerecht, was man da gestern gesehen hat. Und was man sehen kann, das zeigen wir euch jetzt.
Jump into our Charr experience, which is kind of a mid-level experience. You're going to get to see we don't have a lot of personal story for this because we didn't want to throw people in the middle of a story that you've supposedly been doing for, you know, the last 47 levels. It would be kind of confusing, and so we have a quick demo story that will take you around the world. Instead, we're going to let you see a little bit of warrior gameplay, and we're going to let you see a little bit of what it's like to have kind of that full skill bar and what it's like to experience some higher level content. So this is a kind of a cool thing. Since it's night, those weapons are ghostly weapons, and they actually glow during the night. During the day, they don't glow. So one of the things that we'd like to try to do with our weapons and make them very visually cool, we've got weapons that glow when enemies are nearby. We've got you know, icy weapons that break apart occasionally and do a bunch of ice damage, and then they reform really quickly. We've got kind of clockwork weapons that are concealable. When you draw them, they kind of expand and collapse, that sort of thing. So we wanted the weapons to have a lot of character as well. So you'll note Matthew's got a bunch of bow skills. I don't know if you want to fire one of those off in the show. So he's got bow skills. The warrior with a bow is a really competent ranged attacker. He's got good damage, and he's, you know, it's not just for pulling. He's actually got a lot of good skills on that. If you want to kind of change your capabilities, you can just change weapons. Go ahead and change weapons. You notice as he changed weapons, his first 5 skills changed, and now he's a range damage dealer. He's wielding 2 axes, and so what he can do changes dramatically based on what weapon you've got in your hands. Where are we going to go now? Matthew right now is communicating with the people to try to find out where events are going on. Okay, so we're going to go down to Dragon Watch. Again, dynamic event system, so we're not quite sure what's going on where. Okay, so this event is actually a fighting pit event. So the Charr like to train. The Charr have a lot of Roman influence, and so they bring that, you know, kind of gladiatorial pit thing. This is an example of a player-initiated event. Many events in the world just kind of happen. This one waits for a player to come along and kick it off. So now that Matthew's kicked it off, excuse me, any player who comes along in the world can participate. Right now he's choosing what kind of enemies he wants to fight against. Important to note, you noted the timer going across top. That's actually a voting system. So when we do choice in these, we take into account these are multiplayer events, and so we let players vote on what the next wave is going to be. He chose to fight against other Charr, and he's a lot higher level than them, so he's going to kind of beat up on them a lot.
What would you guys like to see?
Beast, go branded. Branded? Yeah. Let's see if they got their votes in time. Yeah. So here come some branded creatures. So you notice he's got a lot of AoE damage there on his bow. And the guys were really clumped up. Yeah. That Charr's a little whirlwind of destruction over there. Go ahead and go in the middle of those guys and stomp. It's always a fun skill. So he just sent a bunch of guys flying with the stomp skill. So you notice right there, that's actually a warrior comboing with doing a cross-profession combo with an elementalist. He was using whirling axe through a firewall, and you see he was spitting fireballs out. Guys should definitely pick beasts this time. Sure.
All of us have PCs.
No, so there are some other players there and some NPCs. It's a mix. So there's a player right there. Anybody who shows up as kind of that light blue color is another player. So there are players voting on things, all of that. So yeah. Yeah, that was one of the reasons why we have our group playing from home. We have about 150 to 200 people playing right now with everyone here at GamesCom because we just wanted to show you what it's like to play with a bunch of other players, what it's going to be like when the game releases and you've got a big group of players in the map. Okay, so you can see they completed that event. Matthew got gold because he was kind of there the whole time and contributed a lot. This is sort of the prettier area. This is the area. You can go to the giant crystal, searing crystal. So we've still got some of those for people who are familiar with Guild Wars 1. This is the area that was the searing area where all of the crystals fell and it was all orange and kind of destroyed. You can see that it's made a comeback, although not entirely. So this is actually that exact map. I don't know if you remember it from Guild Wars 1. There was this map that was kind of a big crater with the giant crystal in the middle, and this is that area of the world. Although I think it looks quite a bit better than it did before. So again, he's run into another event here. There is a Derman Priory, or he's run into another guy who needs his help, and now he's got an event. So so this is the Grawl actually in our game are a returning race, enemy race. They tend to worship natural objects in the world, and they actually are taken to worshiping this thing, but the Derman Priory want to study it, and so they want you to decrease the morale of the Grawl in the area so that you can drive them away. Oh, you missed with that one. So notice dodging out of the way. Looks like there's another warrior around helping him out. Or is that, no, that's a Grawl. Okay. So you might want to change your melee. Try skill 5. That's always good fun. So that's Whirlwind Axe. It's a little different from the way it was in the first game. One of the other things to note with the warrior, that first skill as he's doing it changes. So he's driven away the Grawl. Again, event succeeded and he's helped the Scholar. This is a Derman Priory encampment that's studying the brand, and in particular is studying the area around what used to be Serenity Temple in Guild Wars 1, which is now in the middle of the brand. So not only did it get branded and kind of destroyed, but it's also inhabited by Ascalonian ghosts. And so we can see some of our first glimpse at the ghosts of Ascalon, which is also the title of our book. You notice there are a lot of other players in this area. There's the old statue of Duena that used to be there. It's sort of worse for wear. You can you go up and examine it, or is it not? That's being problematic. Okay. So this is actually, he's in an area, so we have our trait system, and he's in an area where actually a necromancer, if you were a necromancer character, you could earn one of your traits. So traits are earned through what we call profession challenges. Profession challenges are activities that you can do that are geared toward kind of reinforcing the themes around your profession. So in this case, a necromancer could come here and talk to some of the Ascalonian ghosts and learn a few things about becoming a better necromancer. So these are your traits. So what you do is you have a certain number of categories of traits. As you learn them, you can slot them to make your character better. They basically do passive things, but they tend to be often very significant things that change up the way your character plays. So traits is another form of way to customize your character.
Das waren die ersten Einblicke in die Guild Wars 2 Demo und hinter mir erstreckt sich ein Teil des NC-Soft-Stands. Das hier sind allerdings nur ein paar der insgesamt 40 Demostationen, die hier aufgebaut wurden, und glaubt mir, die werden morgen belagert sein von einer Hundertschaft. Ja, wenn es euch gefallen hat, was ihr heute zu Guild Wars 2 erfahren habt, dann besucht uns auf wartower.de, der größten deutschen Guild Wars Community. Wir freuen uns, gemeinsam auf euch und mit euch Guild Wars 2 kennen und erleben zu lernen. Wir sehen uns dann hoffentlich morgen wieder zur nächsten Ausgabe des Wartower Spotlights, nochmal zum Thema Guild Wars 2. Bis dahin.